I think that when I was young, it was just curiosity. I was a big nerd. So I really like math and science. So like quantum mechanics and like numerology and Nikola Tesla and frequency, like that was a lot more interesting to me. And so I found cymatics because I was really interested in math and science, and I'm in physics class and chemistry. And cymatics was really interesting to me. And that's like the effect that sound and vibration has on physical objects. So I got really interested in that, and quantum entanglement and all these different theories, particle theory and all these different things. And then when I was like 19 years old, I like just moved to Denver. I'm living alone. I have no social circle. I'm working like 60 hours a week. I kind of hated my life. But I wanted to like, I was trying to get sober. I'm trying to like get in shape for the first time in my life. I'm saving for the first time in my life. Like I'm essentially starting from ground zero, if not more negative in terms of personal behaviors and beliefs. So I think that turned me towards like the new age spirituality, because it was like the most agency I could have for myself. So like there was no rules. There was no God telling me what I could and couldn't do. There was nobody telling me what was right or wrong. So like it was kind of the opportunity for me to have total, complete control. And that kind of moved me into that world. And then when I lived in Morocco, like at this point, I'm running a multiple 7-figure company. I'm dating a beautiful woman. I just ran an Ironman. Like I've kind of reached a lot of the things that a couple years before I was holding as my idols. And so like the disciplinary, very rigid, very moralistic view of like Islam was a lot more appealing to me at that point. Cause at this point I've done 75 hard. I'm stone cold sober. Like I'm a lot more regimented in my ways. So like Islam appealed. And so like I was in Morocco for Ramadan. So like you fast from sunrise until sunset. So that was like super cool. But then Christianity is like this awesome balance of both, of like God loves you unconditionally and like doesn't really care what you do. There's a verse, I think it's like Isaiah 46:10, that your good deeds are but filthy rags. Like there's nothing you can do to impress God. And he gives us like frameworks and moral compasses and disciplines that we can follow that just make our life better. So it's like the best of both worlds of like, you shouldn't be stoned to death if you do something wrong. And also we love you. Like, so it's like unconditional love, and also like maybe not watching porn is good for you.
Mm-hmm. Some like guidance along with it.
Bingo. Yeah. Like parental wisdom. So I think that like number one is like, it's all iterative. So you're always building on what came before. So it's like, you have to first examine foundation. For me, the foundation, I've never like since I started with mathematics at a very young age, and I was really interested in like science at a really young age, I started with the foundation of like, there's way too much precision of the universe for there not to be some kind of creator. So like my foundation was something exists. Now let me figure out what my relationship with something is. And then it was just kind of exploring like through trial and error and through like actual reasoning and the evidence that I can gather as a very fallible person, what actually makes the most sense. And then like, how do I build the belief? I think it's just exposure, right? It's like, can I test this? Like I had a friend of mine ask me the other day, like, when was the last time you questioned your belief, like your faith? And I'm like, dude, I do it every day. Cause it's like, if I don't examine what I believe, then like, it's not going to get stronger. It's like, if I don't go to the gym, I'm not going to build muscles. It's if I don't actually read the word and understand why the word is the way it is and understand the context behind it, then I'm not actually going to believe. I'm just making a blind assumption. So that would be how I build belief, is just repetition. It's exposure. So it's interesting because like I have a lot of interesting experiences, but there's that saying like luck is preparation meeting opportunity, right? And so I think that at least in my experience or my life, it was the combination, right? So it's the culmination of like, I'm moving from watching TV to reading books, like breaking the habit of being yourself. I go from being unintentional with my time to actually writing to-do lists, to meditating, to going to the gym, getting a circadian rhythm. Like I just started moving towards having a better life. So like started going to church and volunteering at church, even though at that point I wasn't a Christian. It was just like, I know that this is a net benefit on society, so I should do this. So I have a good job. I'm saving my money. I'm working out. I'm sleeping more regularly. I'm reading the right books. So I'm putting myself in the right environments.